Okay, hey, it's Penelope and welcome to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different. It's kind of like a sit down talking, blabbering at you guys for a little bit about my college admissions process, how I chose my college, what my college stats were, and any questions I had about like the college process in general. I asked questions on Instagram and then I responded to some of them, as well as just like general questions and stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first questions I remember getting was about my like stats and how I got into college, and I have no problem like explaining that. I think it's super cool to be transparent. I know that I used to watch videos all the time of like people explaining like how they applied and what they got in the testing, so that like it's easier to like measure yourself to compare to like how you would get in somewhere. It's super interesting. So if you don't care about that, then skip this part. But anyway, basically, I applied to 5 schools, and I took the ACT once my junior year in September, and I liked my score. I got a 29, and I was like, okay, this will get me into the schools that I need. And then I was going to take it again, and then I got sick, and it was just a mess. So I was like, whatever, I'll just use my 29. And then I took the SAT at school, and I don't even remember what I got, but I know that like comparatively, it was not as good as the 29 would have been. So I just submitted my ACT, and my GPA, it's a long story. Basically, my freshman year of high school, I didn't know that I had a learning disability. I have ADHD, and I have extended time on my tests, as well as a 504 plan, and it's like really changed my life for the best. I could make a whole video talking about ADHD and like medication and everything about that, like my ADHD journey. I could totally make a video on it. I think it would be so interesting. If you're interested in that, please comment down below. I don't know if people care about that. But anyway, my freshman year of high school, I did not know that I had a learning disability, so my grades like heavily reflected struggling in school. Basically, I think I had a 3.0 GPA first semester of my freshman year, and I was in like honors and AP classes. I took AP Human. I did not do well on the test, so I didn't get any credit for that. Okay, me editing, I forgot to mention like the classes I took in high school, but basically I always took honors English and history besides American history. I took regular and did really well in that. And then like science, I was always in the like most basic science level, because science is just not my thing at all. And then for math, I was like a grade ahead. So I ended with like junior year, I took pre-calc, and then senior year, I took AP stats. And then for AP classes, I took AP psych, and I got a 4 on that. AP English 3, I got a 4 on that test, and then AP English 4, I got a 5 on that, and then I didn't get credit for that. I don't even think I took the AP stats test, because that was not my thing. But yeah, those were like the credits I went into college with. And then at the end of my freshman year, I got tested like extensively, and long story short, I found out that I have like learning disability and that I can use a 504 plan as well as extended time, and that like changed my life dramatically for the good. I'm so grateful that it happened to me. It sucks that it happened like sophomore year rather than early on in life, but it is what it is. It's actually very common for girls like me to be diagnosed later in life. But anyway, I found out that I had ADHD, and my grades literally skyrocketed up, and it was amazing to see it because I knew I had always been working so hard, but my grades didn't reflect it. So I believe freshman year, my GPA was a 3.0, and then by the end of my junior year, I think I got like a 4.1 was my best GPA. So I really was on the whole like colleges like to see growth and improvement, because like every year since freshman year, my GPA got progressively better until I applied for colleges, which was super awesome. And that's why my like accumulative GPA was like a 3.76, I believe, or 3.8. I can look that up. But I know it's between 3.7 and 3.8. It doesn't even matter, but I know it was above 3.6 because that was always my goal, was to be an Indian Prairie Scholar, which is like basically you get a cord in my district at graduation, which I didn't even have graduation, but that was always my goal, was to get that, and I got it, and it was super exciting. And I just want to let people know that if you have like a lower GPA, like freshman year or other years, like don't give up. Colleges like to see improvement. If you would have told me that I would have gotten into the colleges I got into my freshman year, I would have been like, not with these grades. Like I have C's on my high school transcripts, and I showed that like I improved. And I do think that writing in my letters, so for DRES, which is what I'm in, it's like disability like section of U of I in a sense, so I get like extended time, and I applied to that because like I already had documentation of it in high school, so it's just like transitioning into doing it in college, which is like extended time. Someone's moving something. Extended time on my tests and whatnot. But I know that I like had a separate essay like explaining my like ADHD and learning disability journey, as well as my like regular college essay, which I wrote like for U of I was like kind of specific prompt, which is not usual for most colleges, but I wrote about politics and like growing up being interested in politics and feeling like no one else really had the same interests as me, and like being so different from my friends and like how that affected me and stuff. So that was like my main college essay. And then I also had an essay explaining like my grades, and because if you have something going on that would explain your grades, definitely like touch on that. I would say I'm no expert, but I explained that, and then I sent both of those in. And then the schools that I got into, which people asked, I applied to Iowa, Michigan State, Indiana, University of Illinois, and Wisconsin and Michigan. I believe, yeah, that was all of them. And then I got into Iowa, Michigan State, Indiana, and U of I. And then I got waitlisted/deferred from Wisconsin and Michigan. And I chose U of I. I didn't even like try to get into Wisconsin and Michigan after. As soon as I got into U of I literally posted like right away, okay, I'm going here. I love it. I'm obsessed. And another question I got was like how I chose U of I. And originally when my sister committed to U of I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go there. Like, I don't want to just follow my sister. Like, looks like I have to go to Indiana or some other school, which Indiana's a great school, by the way. Absolutely gorgeous. All the schools I applied to are amazing, and I would be happy at any of them. I just chose U of I for me. But I was like, okay, looks like I'm not going there. And then I visited her, and as cheesy as it sounds, it really did feel like home here. I like how close it is to my home. I'm like 2.5 hours away at most. And I felt like I like understood the layout, and the political science program's really good here. I just felt like at home and comfortable, and it was like exactly what I needed. And it's a great school, great campus, academically, and like with sports this year, we were like super good at basketball. We lost at March Madness, but besides that, like I felt like it was just like a perfect choice for me. I really love it, and it's weird because it's an in-state school, but not a lot of people from my high school ended up coming here, so it's kind of nice. Like I'm the only one in my like high school friend group that goes here. So it's cool. Like I really like going here. And I know John, my friend Anna's boyfriend, asked me if U of I was my first choice, and I do have to say, growing up, both my parents and grandparents and everyone went to Michigan, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and I always pictured myself there because I went to the football games and everything. But I would say like as soon as I got to middle school and I like really did college research and I saw like how hard it is to get into out of state, and I realized like my capabilities and kind of like how I wanted to live my college life, I kind of knew that Michigan was slowly becoming more and more unrealistic. And I was actually pleasantly surprised that I was waitlisted rather than denied. I assumed that I was going to get denied just because my like scores and stuff were not like really in the range of Michigan. But I knew like I'd be happy anywhere else, and that's a huge piece of advice I would say, is to like not have your heart set on one school. And as like if you're an adult and you're like raising your kids, definitely like don't like put the pressure of them on, of like saying like you're gonna go to this school, you're gonna go to that school, and like introduce them to other schools, because when you're a little kid you don't really know like academically how well they're going to do, and especially if the school is somewhat prestigious, like you don't want them like having this identity of like you need to go to this school to have fun. Like you can literally have fun anywhere, you can get a great education anywhere. Like it's not the end all be all. So also, if I'm rambling, I'm sorry. I like to talk about this. And then another question I had gotten was about my like sorority recruitment experience, and that's from Gabby, and she's actually going to be a freshman next year here, which I'm so excited for her. That's literally amazing. Like you're going to love it. And she asked about like the pricing of sororities, and I don't think I'm allowed to like disclose pricing necessarily, but I know that when you go through Pan-Hellenic recruitment, like one of the first rounds, they actually give you the price of each house. So right away, if like you knew one house was way too expensive for you, you could like be like, okay, that house is not for me. So like before you commit or like accept a bid from your sorority, you would know how much it costs and if you could afford that. And there is like payment plans and stuff. So before you like make the big choice, you would be aware of how much it costs. I have a whole video on my rush experience that I highly recommend watching, especially if you go to U of I. I did have a little different of a rush experience because it was online. But nonetheless, it was still super fun, and I could totally give advice on rush and that in like a separate video. And then another question I got was like what my favorite part of U of I is, and it's hard to like section it out into parts. Like obviously the people I've met here has been so much fun. I love the like city life. Like I could go on about like the bar life is great. Obviously if you turn 19 you can go to bars here. And we're really cool with COVID, like cool as in ahead of the times for testing. Like I had gotten tested twice a week since the very beginning of the school year, and we were like nationally renowned, I guess, in like our COVID testing and our like procedures around COVID, which is super cool. But also my favorite like part specifically of U of I, like physically, is the Japanese garden or Japan House / Japanese Gardens, Idea Garden, and Arboretum, which is actually super far on campus from me. It's like a 2-mile walk. I might be exaggerating, but it's super nice to go and like clear your mind there. I literally sit on this slab of wood that this famous guy, I'm going to insert it in here, he made this slab of wood, and I sit there. It's super peaceful. If you just need to like get out of your dorm or just like relax and like come back to yourself, that is the best place to go. I highly recommend it. As well as there's like farms. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but basically there's like horses that you can go and say hi to. Here's a video of me with the horses.
So this is my
Hi.
Oh, I hate how it's steep. Oh.
It's super relaxing and like it helps me de-stress a lot. And I'm obsessed with the Arboretum. And I actually posted a video about like UIUC like daily walk Arboretum stuff, and then I privated it because it was like a little too specific about like safety stuff. But just like it's a beautiful campus, even though it kind of gets a bad rep. I feel like people are like, oh, it's so ugly. Like it's actually beautiful, trust me. It is an amazing campus. There's so much good food. I'm obsessed. Like Miyaza's pizza, get that. Obsessed. I just love it so much, and I'm really happy with my choice. I wouldn't change it for the world, and I am like also fully aware that you'll be happy wherever you go and not to like stress about it too much. And if you're not happy, transfer. Like I've been seeing a lot of TikToks of people that are just miserable and transfer. Like if you can change, if you have the opportunity to change where you go to school and stuff, I feel like it's better to do that than be miserable. And I'm really happy that I'm so happy here and that I could answer questions about the college experience. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means so much to me. I kind of just set up my camera and like blabbered on, but it was super chill, and I kind of want to start filming more videos like this. Please like and subscribe. I'm still at 206 subscribers, but my college dorm video is taking off, and it has almost 800 views, which is so much for me, which is so exciting. I'm absolutely obsessed with the whole YouTube life now. Like I feel like I'm going to start posting more, and I love it. So bye guys, see you next week.